So I kicked off my turkey season by taking my brother hunting. Usually when I go with him, I like to do and run gun, so I don't have to worry about myself with the bow, and super fun that way. And we ended up spotting some turkeys from the road, and so we did a spot stock on this group of turkeys, and we got in close enough, but it was kind of far, so he took a couple shots at Jake and ended up getting him down.
Just put the bead on his head, okay? Take your time, shoot him. Just watch him, there he goes.
So that was pretty cool, and I called Drexel over, and he got some videos and pictures of us, and just had a blast. Something I was wanting to do this year is use a decap broadhead for turkeys. I saw a bunch of videos on it and just thought it was pretty cool, and it was something I wanted to try. So I spent a lot of time practicing, making sure that I felt confident in myself and aiming for such a small target, and just practice a lot.
It's Saturday right now. Our turkey season starts on Monday. So hopefully I'll be able to go out and get a bird in close enough to be able to do it. Now I'm just practicing, just making sure that these points fly good enough, and hopefully I can get one down.
On April 16th, I went out that morning turkey hunting. It was pretty rainy, cold and wet, and it just wasn't just a great morning overall. So sat in the blind for a while, heard some gobbles, but nothing was getting close.
It's sprinkling, and so I think this kind of really shut the birds up a little bit, but heard a couple. Nothing super close at all. So I think I just might sit here and see if I can get something to come in maybe, but other than that, not much has been going on.
So nothing was getting close, so I decided to hop in my car and drive around and see if maybe I can find some birds.
I was driving around and I saw these turkeys on top of a hill, and there's at least 2 strutters. So I looked up who owned the land on HuntStand, and I went to the owner's address, and they actually said that I could hunt it for today. But I'm not sure exactly how I get to these turkeys without spooking them, because they're on top of a hill, and I think from either way I approach, you're gonna see me. So right now I'm just sitting here watching them. They're maybe like, I don't know, 600 yards away, so they're pretty far away. But I'm sitting here watching them. I'm gonna try and see what they do and see if I can make a move on them. There's some hens with them, so even if I did get close enough, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull the toms off the hens, so I might have to just wait a little bit and go in and then call when hopefully the toms won't be on the hens then.
As soon as I got permission from the owner, I went straight back to the property. I ended up sneaking my way up the hill without being spotted somehow. I got my blinds set up, got my decoys out, and as soon as I set my camera up and set everything up, those birds came right over the hill.
The turkeys were over the hill, and so I got set up. As soon as I got inside the blind, got the decoys out, those turkeys came right over the hill, like 60 yards. I believe it was 2 toms and 2 hens. They saw the decoys, and they ended up going back over the hill. But I've been hearing different birds gobble down the hill, but I'm not sure if they can hear me or not, because it's kind of windy today. So right now I'm just calling every once in a while and waiting and seeing if a bird's gonna work his way up towards me or not.
As soon as those birds went back over the hill, I kind of got my hopes down, but I kept hearing different birds gobbling down the hill, so I decided to stick it out and see if maybe those birds would come up. So I probably sat there for a couple hours just calling here and then. So I basically gave up, and I actually stuck my head out the blind to look both ways, and as soon as I stuck my head out the blind, I looked down to my right, and there's 2 toms strutting, heading towards my way. So as the birds were coming up to the decoys, I got super nervous, but I got drawn back just fine without them seeing me. And the most trouble I had was trying to pick one to shoot because I was using a decap broadhead, and my goal was to try and try and decap one of them. But both of them were just spinning in circles around my decoys. And finally, I picked one, and it went up to my strutter decoy, and it just happened to stand still long enough for me to make a shot. It wasn't exactly the shot I was hoping for. I shot just a tiny bit low below the head, but it ended up working perfect. And he didn't go 30 yards and crashed.
So I just shot my second turkey with a bow. It was freaking awesome. I was about to actually walk over the hill and check to see if those turkeys were still over there or not. Stuck my head out the blind, saw those two toms. I'm like, oop! So I ducked back in the blind. Freaking, they came right in. I called just a tiny bit, but other than that, they came right in on their own, straight to the decoy. And I'm just happy that self-filming, I got on film. I looked at the video, I think it looks pretty freaking sweet, but I'm so happy. This is awesome.
After harvesting the bird, I'm super glad to have a tool like HuntStand to use. Even though I didn't get permission for the whole year, all it took was one day.